Howdy,
Hey,
howdy. We're live.
hey, 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 hey. We're all alive anyway.
We're live.
We are.
So
We have
welcome to
Jane.
we have Jade.
It's so good to see
Hiya,
you.
Jane.
It's so lovely. And thank you for inviting me on. It's so lovely to see you.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
lovely to see you too, my dear. I love you to death. You know, I love you to bits, my Jane.
I know. I love you too.
I'm so glad to see you. Yep. Let me see who's here with us. Yours, Jazz Naz, Mystical Jinxie. And that's it right now. And Jane and you and me. That's okay though. We don't need a lot of
Yeah.
people. They'll come see us later. It don't matter.
Yep. So we're gonna start here. We have 3 spots, so if you still want to join in, Mystic Jinx, I see you out there. If you want to join us,
Yeah.
Yorez, now's a good time to make a debut on Brendan Talks.
There you
Do
go.
it. Do it.
I'm the only one off camera
Dark
today.
Side.
Look at that. Camera shy, Linda.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
Miss
so we're
TikTok. Let's plug Jane for a minute. Jane does wonderful things on TikTok. Oh gosh, I wish I had her TikTok thing right now. Maybe I can get it and drop it in there. She is TikTok famous. Some of her stuff is funny. Some of her stuff is
she's
extremely
awesome.
sexy. She can be ba 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 boom, baby. Let me tell you, I have seen it.
Yeah,
But you do
Jade's
good
like
things.
a superstar on TikTok.
Yes,
I
she
mean, I
is.
wouldn't say superstar because there's a lot more people with a lot of following on me, but I do get a lot of enjoyment out of TikTok. And it's another platform for me to raise awareness for wrongful convictions.
Yes, it is. And Nosy is doing the same thing. So you and Nosy can combining, more people will see more of you doing so. They'll jump on the bandwagon. It'll be a trending thing on TikTok. Now that would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Because TikTok is the now platform. You know?
It's just another platform to raise awareness where so many more people can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's TikTok is another thing that's worldwide. I mean, I've got followers from all over. So it's it's amazing. And to be fair, whenever I put anything on about making a murderer, I don't know if it's the hashtag I use, I don't know what it is, but they get a lot of views. And people do come in the comments and talk about it. So I mean, some people, obviously you get the trolls that'll say, oh, they're guilty, but they just get deleted outright. I don't even engage in conversation with them.
That's right.
I just keep the positive comments there and the people who want to know anything. So
well, you keep on doing it, girl. You're doing it. You're spreading the word, and that is all that matters. I mean, that's all we can be thankful for, is spreading the word, you know?
Exactly.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. We left off right where Brendan and Wiegert and Fassbender, they're talking. Last time there was like a whole, I'll just scroll back up to this part. There was a whole big giant paragraphs where I believe Fassbender was just talking his ear off, saying way too much stuff, basically guilt tripping him.
He was telling him, I'm a father. You remind me of your son. And, you know, all that bunch of bullshit, the way beyond the line. You should not be telling anybody these kind of things. And then promising him, oh, we're there for you. We're not going to leave you high and dry. And if they think that they did not make promises to him, all they need to do is read this first fucking paragraph at the very beginning of it, because there's so many promises in there. Oh,
and it's so unprofessional the way the way investigators were talking to him and putting the hand on him. It's just so unprofessional.
Can you imagine being uncomfortable? I'm sure he was. I would be. I mean, and plus he's in school, and plus he's raised not to even question authority. We were all raised that way. I don't care where you come from. Your parents told you the police are there. You listen to them. You don't break the law. You don't talk to adults like that. You respect your elders. You know, that kind of stuff was in every household. I don't care where you came from. You're still told to respect your elders. And Brendan was one that respected his elders and did not want to cross them, make them upset. So of course he's going to try to help.
And certainly someone in a position of authority, like an investigator, you're certainly not going to, a child of, you know, who Brendan, you're certainly not going to start questioning. He's not going to start going against what they're saying.
He's not. I agree. But okay, Becca, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say the last thing that they did talk about was he asked him what else is bothering you. Brendan said trying to find a girlfriend. This is around the time when Brendan broke up with his girlfriend. So yeah, he's like, did you just break up? She broke up with me. What did she say? Why? Nothing to do with this, is it? And then he doesn't have an answer because, and I don't remember last time when we went over this. I feel like every time he does this, like, not answer response, that's his way of, I think his way of saying, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't have a clue. So, like, nothing to do with this, is it? And Brendan's way of saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, I hope you're over that. Just a girl, you'll find others. Talk to your mom about it at all. What she say? He says, Mom told me that time heals. Yeah. So true. Time will heal. Yeah. So they kind of touch base on actual, like, personal, we care about all of you, Brendan, and all of your situations, you know, but like, we need, so Brendan, we know that Steve told you to say certain things when the police came and talked to you. Okay. I know that. We've been told that. What did Steve tell you to tell us? And Brendan said not to say stuff. Okay. What kind of stuff? And then Brendan says, like, don't talk. And then did he tell you what to say? And then Brendan does no answer again, because that's his way. I feel like his way of saying, I don't know. What did he tell you? Did he tell you what to say? I don't know. Probably not. Because I think Stephen would have just said, don't talk to the police.
Yeah.
Which is a good advice for any adult to tell a kid that's whose family, who's being dragged in this. So, like,
I tell my kids
that. Absolutely. My dad used to tell me when I was a kid, don't talk to the police. Don't even, like, don't say anything, even if you think that you're helping them, because the police are there to, hold on. I'm posting the link again in the chat for Alice. Yeah. Anyway, because the police, you know, they're there. I grew up in a family where I was taught the police are there to make a conviction.
Maisie! Hi, Days. Hi. Say hi to me. I know you can't see my beautiful face, but I see yours, and I love you. Better be good to Mom. I love you, Maze.
Hello.
Hello. You being a good girl?
Yeah.
She's
hi,
like,
honey.
Yeah.
I love her. She knows I love her. Okay. Come on, Alice, get your Scottish butt in here. But I agree with you.
Yeah, that's how my family taught me, is that the police are there to make a conviction. They're there to close a case. And yes, there are good cops out there. I'm not saying that there are bad cops out there. But at the end of the day, they want to close a case. They want to put it behind them, and then they want to move on to the next case. And however way they're going to do that, they're going to do that. So if they're going to try to get somebody, whether they're guilty or not, they're trying to get information out of you that could be held against you.
Yes, exactly. They're just trying to, they're not really.
And that's just how I was taught. Yeah,
they want answers.
That's just how I was taught. Now, like I said, I'm not slamming the police. There are good cops out there.
I believe in the police.
I know a lot of good, decent cops. But
so do I.
But as a whole, yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that during all this, Stephen might have been like, if they come and talk to you, don't tell them anything, you know. Right. But as far as only tell him this, and this, I don't think Stephen would have done that. But I don't know.
No, I don't. I agree with you. Yours says, police are there to protect you, not the parents are there to protect you from the police. Yeah, that's how we were raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and now it's the opposite. Don't talk to the police because I'm here to protect you from them.
Yeah.
It's sad that you kind of have to have both thoughts in your mind when you're telling your children, because you do have to tell your children to be careful and ask for, you know, your parent or a lawyer, because you don't know their intent with a child. Nowadays, that's sad that you have to feel that way. You know,
it is.
Yeah,
this kind of thing goes on.
And in Stephen's defense, you know, he has not had the best time with the police.
No, he hasn't.
So he would have been saying it in his own experience, innocently, and with his own experience, because of what happened before.
Right.
It's like he knew, well, don't say anything or don't speak to them because look what happened to me last time.
Right. And you know, that's him of all people to be so scared. I don't blame him. He was in for 18 years with no real true conviction. So, you know, and for his feelings to know that, hey, they were out to get him, he was so spot on. I mean, seriously, look what they did to him. And they dragged in another part of the family. So, you know, well, actually, they dragged the whole family, the whole town, and all of us. Yep. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a when people say that wrongful convictions don't impact people, look how many people this has impacted.
Yeah.
A lot of families.
Uyghur goes on to say, I heard that he did. I heard, and I was told, Brendan, Steve told you what to say and what not to say because it was you and him out by the fire. I know you and him knew what was going on there. It's really important that you be honest here, okay? Everyone gets an opportunity with Tom and I, okay? We want to give you that opportunity to be honest. We want to help you through this. Obviously, it's bothering you. This whole thing is bothering you and the rest of your family. But you'll never, ever get over it unless you're honest about it, because this will bug you until the day that you die, unless you're honest about it. But we want to go back and tell people that, you know, Brendan told us what he knew. We want to be able to tell people that Brendan was honest. Not like Steve. He's honest. He's a good guy. He's going places in life. But in order for us to do that, you need to be honest with us. And so far, you're not being 100% honest, okay? Tom and I have been doing this job a long, long time, longer than you've been alive. And our experience and our knowledge in this job tells us that you're not being totally honest with us. There's no way that you're going to get over this and move on with your life without being honest.
9 times they said honest.
Yep, you need to be honest.
Yes,
you're lying to us.
They're making him feel inferior by saying that they have been doing this a lot longer than he's been alive. So he would have no knowledge of anything, but they know it all. So that's what I got out of that. And I am a rational thinking, have no language disabilities. And well, at least I like to think I'm rational thinking, you know, and have no disabilities, a few shortcomings maybe. But hey, what I got out of that is you're inferior. You're not honest. Then the honest was pushed into his head 9 times.
Yep, you're not ridiculous. Being honest. You need to be honest. He reminded him that only, you know, you're not, basically in a way he was saying you're not being a good person because you're not being honest with us.
And I am above you. Yep.
Yeah, because he's basically saying your uncle's not a good person. So and you're being just like your uncle who is not a good person because you're not being honest.
Yeah.
So you need to tell us what we want to hear so that we can consider you a good person. Basically, that's what I feel like that's what they're trying to say to him.
I get you. And Paul Ward says they took off their police badge off and put on their groomer badge, because that is exactly what they're doing. They're grooming him for these interrogations. Yep, I get it.
So Fassbender then continues to say, you know, Stephen said there wasn't a fire that night. He denied that, and denied that until enough witnesses came forward and said they had seen a fire. You know that. I would like to stop here and just actually make like a quick little like comment. There was a big debate with a lot of people about what night that fire was.
Yep.
Stephen was confused, saying, no, we didn't have a fire that night. We had a fire the night after. There were a few other people, I believe, that said, oh, I don't think it was that night. I think it was the other night. they were all kind of manipulated eventually, I feel like, by the police to admit that the fire happened on Halloween night.
When I don't think it did, because of phone calls with, if I'm mistaken or not, with Jody. The night of that, he was on the phone with Jody. So
he was on the phone with Jody. Yes, that's what we have for a fact. And I don't remember if he mentioned
he was out in the car,
having a fire.
And he wasn't talking about a fire or anything like that. I mean, he did say he left his pop by the fire pit, but he did not say anything about having a fire. So to me, I think they manipulated, just like you said, them into believing that there was a fire.
There was a fire that night. There was a fire within that time period.
Controversial bias. In other words, power of suggestion.
Yeah.
You know?
So I do believe that there obviously was a fire in that time frame, as far as maybe sometime that week, maybe day before, maybe day after. But definitely, like, was there a fire that night? There may not have been. It might have been the day before, it might have been the day after. But but Uyghur and Fassbender basically saying that Stephen outright lied about this fire, and Brendan's probably is confused. He's like, well, I know there was a fire. Why would Stephen lie about there not being a fire?
Right, I agree.
When really, Hi, Alice. Can you hear us, Alice?
Hello.
Yeah, don't be afraid to let us know how you feel there, sweetheart.
So Uyghur goes on to tell him, and this is a really hurtful thing to say to a kid. Stephen doesn't care about you right now. He cares about himself.
Oh my gosh.
And then Fassbender goes in saying, unfortunately, that's all Stephen cares about. He left you to hang out to dry. He told you what to say when you got off the bus, what you saw. You know what you saw. You're the only one that we talked to between the other brothers, Blaine, Bobby, Brian, that inconsistent with what they said.
Yep.
Part of it's because of that, because you, like Stephen, you're trying to help him, but you're misguided that way, and you're trying to help him out with what you know happened and did see. I think you're starting to be honest with us about some things right now.
You think he's starting to be a little honest now, after he calls Stephen a complete liar, and basically Brendan a liar up until this very second, you know. So now they're giving him back his confidence. See, this is all a ploy. It's a straight up ploy. It just okay.
Yep. So then Brendan starts to say, well, when we were up north, he was trying to hide when the cops came, and Grandpa, and then he stopped him. And Uyghur said, what else did he tell you? And then he said he was going to get in the car and try to get it away as far as he could. I think that Stephen, I can't imagine how scared Stephen was to know that he could possibly go back to jail for something that he didn't do.
Oh my God, I can't imagine that either.
And I believe wholeheartedly that I would want to run too. like that would cross my mind too if I was in the same situation that Stephen Avery was in. Like, I am not going back. You know what I mean?
Especially
if you dealt with these people before, like this is the second time around, same kind of people, you know that they don't play fair.
Yeah.
So, but that's what. Let's see.
Come on, Alice, you can talk too. I want her to start saying, "Them buddy police." Goddamn knew it, yay.
So Fassbender says, anyone else by the fire by you that night, all night? I think there's a reason for that. Like, Stephen felt he could trust you not to say anything. And then, like, a bunch of words in fire, and asked you to using your love and taking advantage of that. So I don't know if that's just because it was broken up and like the recording.
He said everything fire, like, and you know, it was like an extended word is I think what that means. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's just trying to say that Steven's basically, taking advantage of your care for him, that he doesn't really care about you, and you need to tell us more. But here's the other thing. He said, I think there's a reason for that. Like, Steven felt he could trust you not to say anything because there's nobody else at the fire that night. But there was supposed to be a bunch of people, but those people canceled showing up. So that makes no sense to me on why they would try to manipulate that whole narrative for him.
Yeah. Well, they just want to confuse him. And that's basically what they're doing. They're twisting and getting his mind to think, oh my gosh, I'm not telling the truth. I'm a bad person.
They're really trying to, they're really trying to sell the fact that Steven murdered somebody and you were somehow involved in it. Not what happened that night. Like, not what happened that night. Can you tell us what you remember happened that night? And then him actually saying what he remembered happening. There was a murder that happened, and you need to tell us. And here's the details of it. So work with our details we're giving you.
Yep. Exactly.
And then Brendan does it, to cover up for hurting that girl. That girl didn't do nothing. How would you feel if that was your sister? And then Brendan's basically, doesn't know what to say to that. Yeah. The burn pit, Brendan, was no bigger than this table, okay? You know how big it was. I find it quite difficult to believe that there was a body in that, Brendan, that you wouldn't have seen something like a hand or a foot, a head, hair, something, okay? We know you saw something, and maybe you've tried to block it out, but it's really important that you remember. Think back. Yeah, see, all of this stuff, and Brendan still has nothing to say. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah, he's saying nothing. It's all them talking and all them pounding this shit in his head because they are above him. They were around before he was born.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like, I don't know what to say either. If somebody was like, we know you know the truth, you got to tell us, we know you know the truth. And it's like, I don't know what you want me to say. I already told you I don't know anything.
Right. I mean, Jane and Alice have young children, not, if your kids were listening to this, aren't they going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just this kid. I'm scared. I don't know what to say. They're telling me that I'm stupid, that I'm lying, that I mean, all these things are pounding in his head. Just bring a kid down. Like, what do you do?
Well, that's it. When they're constantly saying to him, well, you're telling lies, and they're constantly saying that to him, in his mind, his head's just going to be all over the place. He doesn't know what to say for the best.
Yeah, no answers at all. It's better not saying anything, and he probably should have kept that through the whole thing. But of course, Brendan, being the caring, helping, and hopeful to help person that he is, and we all know that to be true because he's that way today.
But that's the same. Right. That's the same with the whole family, though, Brendan. Linda, just take the interview with Steven in the car. After his lawyer and that's been on the phone to him, telling him not to talk to them and everything like that. And the fucker makes them feel guilty. Oh, what? So you're trying to not help with the investigation and everything like that? And he's like, no, that's not it. He should have went, fuck you, and went right away. But Brendan was brought up to respect the police. Don't be cheeky to the police. They're the authority figure. They're there to help you. So that's what that went what they were doing, But they didn't. They were feeding them the story, the whole story, left, right, and centre. I mean, just look at the paragraphs.
Look at the pattern.
Look at the size of the paragraphs that Aspender and Liger are. I mean, compared to what Brendan's answers are, his are one-line answers. Theirs are like a 6-page bloody paragraph. No wonder they understand what was going on.
Right, and giving him hints like a toe, a head, or a foot, a head, a hair. They're leading this stuff into his head. You can see that they're leading. This is all very much leading into First of all, break him down. It's like an army. Like you go into the army. They break you down to nothing and then they build you up. Well, they broke him down in the first fucking sentences, and then now they're slowly telling him that he might be telling the truth. And the reason, and giving him kind of a scapegoat, like Stephen did this, Stephen did that. We just want to know what you've seen, to confirm what Stephen did. So he doesn't really place onto Brendan yet. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a calculated movement and placement of words into Brendan's head.
Aye, and as I says before, Brendan wasn't picking up on the words or the language that they were saying. He was picking up on their tone of voice, like he would have done with Barb. He would have knew when Barb was mad at him or angry at him or pissed off at him, because she would have a certain tone in her voice, like, don't you bloody speak to me like that, or something along those lines, you know what I mean? So when they're spewing all this out to him, and they're like, come on, Brendan, tell us the truth, Brendan, we know. And then the Wayne says something, and they're like, no, that's not what you're saying. And then when he did say something, oh, well, why did you not tell us that before, Brendan? If you'd have told us that in the beginning, it would have been easier. So the whole tone of the voice is what Brendan was picking up on, where they fuckers answer him the questions that they're answering him. Not the fact that he's understanding a word that they're bloody saying.
Well, the fact that they said that Stephen used his love for you against you. Let's watch how they try to make everybody in his life be against him. Like your mother, because she's going to be disappointed. I mean, further on in this, you're going to see, just to me, this is just complete calculated moves to set things into his head, which they're doing. And they're doing it by a child level, how a child would take this. You know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't be able to do this to an adult.
No.
Or adult that's also on the same cognitive level, because there are adults that the police can manipulate too.
But I'm saying their strategy in their strategy, they're using it as a child. This is how you do it to a child.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So. Okay. Totally. Well, they're basically they're treating him like, which just to point this out, to me it's not like haha funny, but on the same level, it's kind of funny that they talk down to him and treat him like a small child, like they're talking to it, but then in court they're like, oh, we have to treat him like an adult, and he's this monster, and we're trialing him as an adult.
Well, see, that's the language of law, the language of manipulation, the language of getting people to have a certain view or thought is by the words they use. Like, it might seem like a small word, sir, but when they're saying it to Brendan in court, they're making the jury think he's a man. Okay. Yeah. And when they're talking to him, they're making him feel like he's a boy. I'm a father. I have a son. This, that, what. And further on, your mom. What is your mom going to think? So it is very calculated, which I find diabolical. I'm so sorry, but that is just diabolical. That is like you're going in there. You're not even giving. You have no clue, or nor do you care what this kid has to truly say. You just want him to say it in your order and with your words. And that's from the start.
So Fassbender goes on and says, it's okay. It's a big step forward, feeling better about yourself, to recovery, to not cry at night because of the stuff happening, what you saw. I promise I'm not going to let you hang out there alone, but we got to have the truth. The truth is going to be terrible. And then he starts bringing up his mom.
Yep, here we go.
And then Wiegert says, we're not going to turn back and tell your grandma and grandpa what you told us or anything like that. And then, let's talk about it. And then they keep that. And then Brendan starts to say some clothes, like a blue shirt, some pants. And then he asks, where did he get the clothes from? His garage. Where in the garage? He doesn't know. Where in the garage were they? In the back. So, I believe this is the parts where he starts to guess.
Yeah, you could tell his gas in the
Because
back.
this would be, because like if he's like, hey, where'd you get the clothes from? His garage. Where in the garage? He does a I don't know answer. And then they press on, where in the garage were they? So then he gives a guessing answer in the back. And then they respond with the back on the side. And then of course Brendan doesn't answer. But see, that's part of like, so if he's in school and he's trying to take a test and then the teacher's like in the same way trying to get him to answer questions for a test, and the teacher responds in a way that he knows is the correct answer.
Well, I know, but he says, was her car still in there? Well,
no, but that's what I'm trying to say is that Wiegert and Fassbender are responding with him the same way with a teacher. So when he guesses an answer, Wiegert and them are like, okay, cool, back on the side. So that's how he takes cues as far as that's what they want me to say. You see what I'm saying?
He's not answering in any of these. You see no answer coming from him. It's all Wiegert and Fassbender.
Yeah. Well, he guesses. He guesses right here in the back, and then they respond in a way that says, yes, you got it right.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, you're telling us something. Good. Let's go on.
That's what I'm saying.
Down.
Yeah. That's what I just wanted to point out. So the first part
here
where they
very
said,
good observation.
Yeah, where in the garage, he doesn't have an answer. They press on again, where in the garage, and then he guesses an answer in the back because he doesn't know. And then they respond with, okay, back on the side. Okay, that's what we wanted to hear.
Right. And then they say, was her car still there when you went in there?
When you went in there, tell us the truth. No answer, see? Right. How did you know? Did you see any undergarments or anything like that? Bra, any shoes? No answer. Were there blood on those clothes? Be honest, Brendan. We know. We already know you know. Help us out. Think to yourself.
Help
the family out. It's going to be okay. Was there blood on those clothes? So they're still pressing on that question. So then he says a little bit, and then he responds like, "Okay, thank you for giving like an okay." Where was the
little
blood?
bit. Okay, where was the blood?
Yeah, that's
so that's how he knows. Like, okay, they want me to answer with something. So I'm going to answer with a guess, and then they respond with a good. Okay, next question. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. But in between, they're also telling him we're gonna help you out, and you're helping out a family.
You need to be honest. You need to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So it's like, and then blood on the shirt. He doesn't know. You're starting to get it now. Yeah, he is. He's starting to understand that you need him to answer no matter what the answer is.
That's right.
You're starting to get it out now. Okay? It will all be right. Get it all out. It doesn't do any good to get half of it out. The fire. He said he was going to burn it and start, and then they interrupt him. When the fire pit got full, he was going to bury the whole pit and start. Did he have somewhere else where he doesn't know?
No answer.
Yep. Yeah. So you had to move it from behind the garage to behind the house. Did he say why? Did you know why? No answer. He doesn't know. Where did he tell you those clothes came from? And he said they were, and then I don't know why they interrupt him. But you kind of know better though, don't you? You know better. They were girls' clothes, weren't they? Were they in a bag or anything? They were in a bag. Pants and shirt and anything you saw had blood on the shirt. Was their shirt where on the shirt was the blood? Where on the shirt was the blood? No, he doesn't know. Was it a button-down shirt? What kind of pants were they? Blue jeans or he doesn't know. What else did he get out of the garage? Be honest. He had a shovel, okay, and a rake. Go ahead. And then he doesn't know. I just want to also point out that Stephen Avery has a girlfriend living with him.
Right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he was burning maybe some of her clothes for whatever reason.
And that's what Jody said that though. Yep.
I was just going to say that. How the fuck does Brendan ken whose clothes they are? For all he know, they could have been Jody's. Because was Stephen still with Jody at that time?
He probably didn't, to be perfectly honest, he probably didn't even see the clothes fully because Stephen probably threw the bag itself onto the fire and he just knew eventually that it was closed because it was burning open and stuff.
And we do know that Stephen did that. Stephen did burn
because what I was
Jody's clothes.
thinking was maybe that him and Jody had an argument and she left, and you know, and you know what it's like yourself. You fall out with a partner or whatever. The clothes are shoved in bags and they're flung out the window or they're flung out the front door. With Stephen, it was flung on the fire. You know what I mean? So that could have been an innocent thing to begin with, but they're trying to make it out to be something that it's not, even if there was clothes in the fire.
You know, and then second of all, I just want to say he had a shovel, he had and a rake. Those are very standard things that you use during fires, like when
especially
you have a fire
pit. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that's not something like that wouldn't be like, oh, he's trying to bury something. He's trying to do something. No, he's being fire safety conscious. Like
it's just it's just like Kratz when Kratz says, "Oh, there was a receipt from Auto Trader." Well, of course, there's a receipt from Auto Trader. He was doing business with them. I mean, he made it to be something that was so nefarious. You know what I mean? Just like they're doing to Brendan right now with these tools.
Yeah. So they're saying, what did he do with the shovel? Brendan doesn't know. No answer. Let's go to the parts that close. Talk about whatever he talked. I got a feeling that you saw something in the fire that you're just trying to just, and then Rieger interrupts saying, it's not your fault. Remember that.
Oh.
Then Fassbender goes into his long paragraph of, yeah, it's not your fault. Like I said, Mark and I are not going to leave you high and dry. I got a very, very important appointment at 3 today. Well, I'm leaving for the appointment until I'm sure you're taken care of. Telling the truth. Get this off your chest and get it out in the open. So go ahead and talk to us about what you saw in the fire are killing you right now. What you see. Go ahead. Go ahead. You've got to do this for yourself. I know you feel that it's going to hurt Stephen, but it's going to help Stephen come to grips with what he needs to do. More importantly, this can help you. How long you think? How long, I think he says think. How long you think are going to put up with this?
Wow.
You know we found some flesh in that fire too. We know you saw some flesh. We found it after that burned. I know you saw it. Tell us. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to prove that in court. And then his phone rings. Tell us what you saw. You saw some body parts. You're shaking your head. Tell us what you saw. So Brendan must be doing the no, or something, you know. But, you know, Brendan doesn't have an answer because he doesn't know what you want him to say. No. And then he says straight up, you all right? You all right? What other parts did you see? And then that's when he says toes. And I think he's just guessing. He already suggested hands, foot, toes, hair, whatever. So I think at this point, Brendan's just pulling out one of the things that he already mentioned and said, fine, I saw toes.
Yeah.
Part of a foot, too. What other parts of the body? Did you see part of the arm, the leg? I know, it's all right. Did you see part of her head, skull? That'd be sinister. How could you forget that? You know, and then he starts to say, I seen, okay, a human body. Did you say anything to Stephen? Was he hoping you didn't see that or what? It's weird. They're like, they're finishing the sentences for him, aren't they?
Yep.
Yes.
I've seen, and then they interrupt him with, okay, a human body. Did you say anything to Stephen? Like they're saying, like that's basically the truth. That's what we want you to tell us.
He's not answering, so they're filling it in for him.
Yeah. Fassbender, the body parts that you saw, were they on top of the tires or underneath the tires? And he has no freaking idea.
He's probably looking at him like, what the fuck next?
Yeah, there's nothing. And then he's like, excuse me, pardon? Bottom of the tires. Underneath the bottom of the tires?
No
and
answer.
He doesn't know. Could you smell them? No. That's probably the most honest answer out of this whole entire...
I just really want to point out how many times, we should go back and count, how many times Brendan has no answer, and how many times these people are talking to him, because I'm telling you, I see their names, Brendan no answer, Brendan a 1-word answer, Brendan a 2-word answer. Then they come back with these fucking paragraphs, and they know damn well they're at his school. They know damn well they use this many words. That kid's not going to get it.
No,
They
was
read
it not
his case
something
file.
like? Was it not something like they had 5,000? They said 5,000 and odd words to Brendan's 300 and odd words.
Yeah. Well, that was a long deadline. Let's put it this way. I can bet you any money Brendan has less than fucking 100 words in this statements.
Right.
Here. It just makes no absolute. They are they're in his school. Let's just think about this for a second. They're in his school. Okay. They're getting him out of school. They looked at his school records. They must have. I mean, that is what they're going to do. Sorry to say. You're going to get the file. You're going to go over it. They're going to see that Brendan has a language disability. Too many words is too much. So they're piling it on. And you can see this because they would not be doing this with a normal investigation and a normal interrogation. They would not do this practice here they're doing. It just wouldn't happen.
They have to know what disabilities he has. And I've had 2 experiences with that now, and I can tell you for the fact in the UK. I won't go into detail because it's not about that. But just to put you in the picture a bit, we've had an incident with Maisie. Another reason I've kind of been out the loop, and the police had to be involved, and the person in question who was being the boy in question, let's just say, had learning difficulties, and we can't prosecute because of his learning difficulties. And it took the police a good few weeks because they had to go to speak to his mother, they had to speak to his college, and they had to find out exactly what was wrong with him, what disabilities he has. And so they will make and I can speak for the UK, but the police would have had to know what Brendan's disabilities were.
Yeah, they have to. I believe. I don't for 1 second believe they didn't know. You have to know what's going on with this kid. First of all, how to handle talking to him, how to find out if he's ever been in trouble in school, if he is defiant against his teachers, or if he is compliant. These are all things they look for. And they're using every one of his disabilities against him, and his love for family and respect against him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I just also, I kind of read ahead on this paragraph, and this is kind of puzzling to me. So he says, all right, we got a lot of important stuff out there now. Take a breath. Let's go over the parts that you mentioned. So you mentioned toes, fingers, parts of a hand, feet, and when you thought was maybe a stomach area, midsection, or torso.
Now, when did he say that?
Weird. Yeah. When did he say that?
When did he say that? And why can't they at court look at this and say he did not? They are insinuating. They are inserting. This is
That's what I'm saying. They're basically saying, oh, like right up here. Sorry, my computer's slow.
No answer. He got no answer.
What other parts did you see? Toes. And then he says part of a foot too. What other body parts did you see? An arm, a leg? Did you see her head, skull? He doesn't say anything. And then he says a human body.
He didn't say that.
Isn't that crazy?
And then this shit
and then they jump and they say, okay, so now we know you've seen the toes, fingers, parts of a hand, feet, what you thought was a stomach area, midsection, or torso. Did you see parts of the leg, arms? Are you sure you didn't see her? Now it's very hard. It's not easy, but easier to say that you saw a finger, a toe, or a finger. But when you start to saying to me, I saw a head or a face or hair, stuff like that, that's when it hurts, though. But I find it very hard that you didn't see a skull or a head. Did you see part of the head or the face or the skull? And he said, somewhat. I know this is hard, Brendan, but can you describe what you saw when you mean like her forehead? Did you see any hair? when you saw her forehead, was it white bone already, or was there still a little bit of flesh? A little bit of flesh. Were there any body parts connected yet? I just want to like go back up. So far he's verbally said that he's seen toes and like a part of her forehead. Right. But anything else that they're saying that he saw, he's claiming that he saw, he didn't actually say. They're insinuating that he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're basically saying, oh, well, you kind of looked at us and we're going to assume that that's what you meant.
Yeah. They inserted all this shit that he didn't say. And I can't understand why the fucking courts did not see this. I'm not even a fucking lawyer. I have no idea about goddamn confessions. But I'll tell you what, this shit right here is no way would this even pass on my stupid ass. How the fuck do these educated motherfuckers not see this shit? And they convict him on it. This is goddamn asinine. I'm so motherfucking mad right now. I'm so sorry.
So he asked, well, let me just scroll back up.
It's just so graphic as well, and they know
it's very graphic.
They know full well he's not seeing any of this, and they're still pushing and pushing and pushing at him in the most horrendous way, and saying the most graphic things. And I know and I want to say in a normal investigation that yes, to investigate a death or a murder, whatever. Yes, it's graphical when if someone's been murdered, but the fact that they know he's got nothing to do with this, and they're just pushing on him, and it just makes me sick.
It would be one thing if this came directly from Brendan's mouth. If they said, what did you see that night? Oh, here, I'll tell you the whole thing. Steven raped and murdered this chick, and then we took her clothes, and then we threw her on the fire, and it was so graphic, or, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. But no, they're feeding it to him on what he supposedly saw.
Giving up that information,
yes. But they're basically taking a 16, 17-year-old kid who has... probably seen stuff like that, like not that on TV, but like, like scary movies and stuff. But then, and inserting that shit into his head, that's gonna, and he's a sensitive guy.
Yeah,
he really is. So, like, if you're telling him this horrific scene that he supposedly saw, he's gonna go home tonight, and then he's gonna think about that, and he's gonna think about that. So the next time they see him, he's going to definitely have that on his head.
It'd be scarred for life.
Yeah. So
anyone would be.
Oh yeah. And honestly, if Brendan really saw a human body being burned to death, which is an extremely graphic, horrific sight to see. Even the smell.
Not even just visually, even the smell.
It's just like. Yeah, it's just like Alice said, if he actually saw anything like this, he would have ran home quickly to his mom. Like, there's no way.
Sit around there watching it, like, what the...
No, this is a kid... Like. Yeah, this is a kid who couldn't even stand the sight of blood while he was at a hospital thing.
Yeah.
So...
I was going to say that. He can't even,
there's a word for it.
I've forgotten the word.
There's
I know what you mean.
Yeah, there is a word for it.
You're just not going to stand there watching like Guy Fawkes is burning on a bonfire.
No, he would have turned away and went to his mom and said, "Oh my God, Mom!
Oh my God, Mom! This is crazy! Look, what is he doing? This is horrific! Oh my God!"
Yes, he would be screaming away from that because he cannot kill an animal. He cannot stand blood. He does not like needles. He does not hurt. He does not have the mentality to hurt a fly. Okay?
No, he doesn't.
He respects human life.
That's the other thing. And this is another thing. Like, if this was a real crime scene of something that actually happened where Brendan witnessed something, then where is the vomit? Where is the, you know what I mean? Of these things that even for Steven, like, I can't believe that even Steven is just a cold-blooded killer that would.
No.
I don't think people realize just how graphically awful that they paint out Teresa Hallback's murder to be.
Yeah.
But not only that, I mean, being a mother, it didn't matter how many times my son told me, that he was all right when I knew fine well that he wasn't all right. Because
Yeah.
as a mother, you pick up on they kind of things.
You pick
Say,
up.
what's wrong with you? Oh, nothing. No, there is something wrong with you. No, I'm fine. And then you leave it, and then you go back and you say, look, I know fine well there's something wrong with you. Barb would have picked up on that. Even if Brendan didn't go running to Barb in the first place saying, oh, mum, Stephen's just done this, and I've just seen that, and I've just seen that. If he kept it to himself, he would, it would have been running through that laddie's head non-stop. He wouldn't have been able to sleep. He wouldn't have been able to eat or anything like that.
Say, he'd be having nightmares. He wouldn't be able to sleep. You know, he would. His demeanor would change dramatically.
Exactly, Jane. And being a parent, you would pick up on something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Maureen says if anything, it makes you want. If anything makes you want to believe in hell, this is. You've got to pay.
Yeah.
This is total. These people they got a one-way basket made for them with fucking extra coals and lighting fluid all over them. They're going to burn in hell. And they're on repeat, karma's repeat list, because I'll tell you what, they're going to get there someday for real.
Yeah.
This is just absolutely a travesty. Horrific.
Not to be religious or anything. I don't personally believe in hell, but I do think that these people are going to get theirs eventually.
Yeah.
And they're definitely, hopefully that means for the rest of their lives in prison. And then they can sit there and watch their children and their family and everything go on in life. If
nothing, maybe they'll become rag-bagged bums on the street because they'll lose everything and they'll have to live on the street or wish they even had a prison cell to live in because that would get 3 squares and a cot.
Mm.
Yeah. So hopefully, I hope that for some,
I hope they'll burn in hell. I honestly do.
Does it not make you think, though? They've done this to Brendan and Stephen. How many other people have they done it to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe
they're comfortable doing this to this
there.
kid. How many kids have they actually screwed over in Wisconsin? And there's a reason why Governor Evers is about juvenile justice, right? So that makes you how many other Brendans are sitting in prison right now in Wisconsin?
Yeah, he wants to close down those juvenile homes because they're, I guess, not good for kids. Who knows? I don't know what the reasoning is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but Governor Evers isn't thinking about Brendan or any other child that this could have happened to. He's just thinking about the fucking seat that his arse is sitting on it, and that's it. Because
there you go, Alice. Thank you very much. I agree with you because you know what? Put your fucking money where your mouth is, bitch, and start with an innocent man. So you want to be the change you talk about, then do it. Okay, because all you're doing is making promises and giving clemency to people who have already done their crime because they were guilty. They've done their time, they're out of it, and now you are not giving an innocent, 100% innocent person a look. You want to believe in a conviction that was coerced all the way through. This is, if he read this, and he's a smart man, just this page alone that we went through would make him change his mind.
That's it. I just want him to read it. I just want him to sit down and take the time to look at it, go over it, and think about it logically, as all we see it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, like I said, I could be the dumbest mother hummer in the world, and just this first page has never angered me as much as it does now. Maybe because we're really breaking it down, and I skimmed over it, but just to look at the page as a page, and you see the words, the names, and the answers.
Yeah,
you can just see.
It's heartbreaking to see the confession on making a murderer, but when you actually read what it brings it more. It even brings it more into question how bad.
Well, like Paul said, they put on their grooming badge because that is exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah.
They're no better than a pedophile. They're child abusers.
But for the higher course, no even recognize that. You know what I mean? We can clearly see, and we've not got degrees in law and everything like
I feel
that.
the same way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we can see the badness in this. We can see the promises that they're making. A promise will have your back. We're a father right now. We're no police. We're here to help you. That's what we want to do. That's all promises that should never have been mentioned, should never have been said. And for the courts not to pick up on that and say that his confession is not coerced or they didn't feed him the intel is a load of bollocks. And then, if that's the case, then they need to do a whole change up either Supreme Court system, because the judges that are on it shouldn't be there because they can't do their job.
That's right. They have no clue what their job even consists of with this kind of bullshit right here as evidence. This is a fucking clear case of coercion. If I never even heard of it and I was looking at this, it would be, and they're professionals. I don't know. It blows my mind. But continue,
like
Becca.
I'm
sorry.
Even it's just that one page, and there's pages of it.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Just looking at the page.
It's just
so I just want to point out, I won't exactly read it, but like if you actually read this, he's basically trying to get Brendan to admit that he saw a whole body. So Brendan only verbally admits to seeing toes and a forehead. He wants Brendan to say, you saw a whole body. So this whole paragraph is basically, the toes are connected to the feet, which are connected to the legs, which is connected to blah, blah, blah. So you're seeing a body. Is that accurate? You saw her body there? And then he doesn't even respond with anything. And Uyghur says, would you say yes or no for me, Brendan? And Brendan says yes.
Yeah, he just says say yes or no.
Well. How random for him just to turn around and say a forehead. That's not do you know what I mean? It's very random. And that just shows me that he was just guessing at the first.
Yeah, because when you say a head, I seen a head, I seen a body.
Very random.
And it wasn't until he said, you need to say yes or no for me.
Do you
that
say a
he
face?
Actually verbally admitted to yes. But then he even then doesn't say, I saw a body. He just says, would you say yes or no for me? Sure, yes.
And I think the forehead came from, did you see a face? And he said the forehead. He's trying to minimize anything he sees. Toes are not a whole foot. So a forehead is not a whole face. So Brendan is just trying to give him a little bit because that's what they're asking.
Bit what you think that I want you,
not to incriminate himself or be a liar. That's what it is. He's not trying to be a liar.
And the cops also start off with saying something small too, like if you notice, they're like, "Did you see toes? Did you see fingers? Did you see hands?" So they're basically trying to build up to, okay, well, you admitted to us that you saw toes, so basically you saw a body.
That's what I'm saying. Brendan is minimizing what he's seen. They're trying to make him see more.
Yeah, they're maximizing.
Yes.
Then he goes in to say, then the shovel and rake were used to do what? And then Brendan doesn't know how to answer that. Now, you can tell me if you actually think you've seen that. And he says, yeah. But you did. You never said anything to him. You told this to anyone. Have you told this to anybody? And is this what you've been bothering you a lot? And he says yes.
Can I just jump in a wee second there, Becca?
Absolutely.
Just that question alone, the ass bender, and then the shovel and the rake were used to do it. That's him saying to Brendan, right, this is what you have to answer next. We basically saying, well, the shovel and the brush and the rake was used to do something in the fire. It should have been, so did you happen to see, or, it's the whole wording of the fucking sentence, you know what I mean? And
first of all,
the shovel was used and the rake was used. Not asking them if the shovel was used or the rake was used.
Right. And you shouldn't be feeding anybody anything anyway. You should be sitting there listening to what they say, and that's it. What can you tell me happened that night of the fire? And shut your mouth and let him talk. And
if Brendan volunteers information,
anything else you see,
that's the thing.
And he would say no.
Yeah,
that's the key to all of
this. Yeah, you don't. Yes, You're
never
trying to get a
volunteered.
story you've never heard before. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Then you're going to sit there and listen to somebody. You're not going to feed them and tell them and knock them down and strip them of their fucking worth and then make them feel a little bit better for saying a small word. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. So, just to continue, I think with this whole context, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, we'll call it a content. Yep.
Let's see.
My blood pressure can't take much more. I'm serious. I'm just so. Ooh.
Told us anyone has been bothering you a lot. Yes, and I understand that's normal because you've done nothing wrong. Isn't that funny how they say you've done nothing wrong and then it turns into you murdered somebody?
Yeah.
But
with all of what you've told us, yeah.
Yeah. Brendan, I'm going to ask you a difficult question, okay? Did you help him put that body in the fire? If you did, it's okay. They're assuring, I can't with this.
Yeah. Giving him assurances saying, oh, well, it's okay if you did. We just need to know.
It's okay if you did. It's all right.
Yeah,
just tell me.
It's
It's kind of like that joke where someone's like, I won't be mad if you tell me. I promise. You can tell me I won't be mad. And then they tell you.
It'll
and then
be
you get
our
mad
little
anyway.
secret.
Yeah.
It'll be our little secret. Like a pedophile says. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking disgusting fucking manipulation of a child's brain. And they should all be in fucking prison for goddamn child abuse.
So Brendan doesn't know how to answer that. Did you help him put the body in the fire? Because he didn't, but he's just like, I don't know what you want me to say. Because he's already learned throughout this whole entire thing that what he's been saying that is the truth isn't what they want to hear.
And they're going to add on to what he does say. So he minimalizes anything he does say.
Was the body in the fire when he got out there? And then he starts to say what he saw, which was branches. There was like branches. When did you see it? When was you first went out there or when? And then he says, like if. So let's just go through you. What time did you go out there? 8 or 9. What time? 9. So he doesn't even he's not even sure what time.
What time?
So they question him again. So then he picks a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9, you go out there, you go right by the fire. No answer. Yes, no answer. Okay, and you see what exactly? Explain to me exactly what you saw at 9. And then he starts to explain exactly what he saw. Branches, tires like a garbage bag. And so you were there at 9. Did you see branches, tires, garbage bags all on the fire already? It's burning already? And he says, yeah. So that's probably the truth right there. You know what I mean? He goes out there. There's already a fire started. He already sees the branches, the tires, the garbage bag. Yeah. Then you go out to get the car seat. Yeah. And how do you get that? We put in the back of the golf cart. Whose golf cart? He doesn't know.
And this is where you can tell when Brendan's telling the truth. Because
he's immediate answers.
Yes, and they're full sentences, and he's saying what he can remember. When they're quizzing him and pressing him and putting words into his head, it's just one word answers or a shrug or
or I don't know, or or stumbling through it. Yeah. Whose golf cart? He doesn't answer. Jody's? No. Barb's? Barb, Jada? Oh yeah. So they answer for him.
Yes, they. It's like slap you, kiss you, slap you, kiss you, slap you, kiss you, slap you. That's what's been going on here.
So you go and get the seat, and then what do you do? The big pit fire. Then we go out there and threw it on it. During this process, is he moving the rake shovel to mix things up and stir things? And he doesn't answer. So then after you throw the seat on, what happens? When do you see the body parts? Like when he's pushing in there. When he's pushing what in there? The car seat. Okay. Tell me again, what did you see in that fire?
Nothing.
And then nothing. First you see the feet, then what? Then I look around a bit and you saw the hands and the forehead, and what did they're answering for him.
Yes.
It's not him saying it, it's them saying it.
Yes, just like he's seen a toe, so they've added a foot. Just like he's seen a forehead, and they added the face and head and body.
Yeah. So you went and got some wood, came back, and what did you see? no answer. So I think we're gonna just leave it off here.
Yeah.
Because we can keep, but yeah. So basically, you can definitely see that they're feeding him what. They basically, in the very beginning of this, they painted the story for him. She's in the fire. We know she's on the tire or underneath the tire. We know that this was burnt. We know that was burnt. We know you saw something. We know Stephen told you not to say something. You know, they're basically painting the story for him, and now they're just getting him to confirm it.
Right.
Piece by piece by piece by piece. Admit you saw a body. Admit that this. Admit that. Yeah.
But he can't because he doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know anything. He just knows that Stephen asked him to come over to help him with the fire. He helps him with the fire. He hangs out in front of the fire with Stephen. They probably chit-chat about guy shit. And then he knows that he has to go back to the house and meet with Barb and all that. And he did that. And yeah.
Yeah. I'm appalled. I'm completely
and that scenario with the actual fire may not have even happened on Halloween night.
No.
Yeah, because we don't know when the fire was.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know exactly when the fire is because so many conflicting reports said, oh, it was this day, it was that day. Yeah, we don't know exactly. We just know that the state's narrative wanted it to be on Halloween night, and everyone seemed to agree with that.
Yeah. And if you remember when Stephen was questioned about the fire, he told them that the fire was either the week before, the Thursday before, or the Friday before. Before the incident, and they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then even he starts questioning himself.
Oh yeah, because they get the family to question it. So when the family's talking to Stephen, if anyone's actually heard the jail phone calls between Stephen and the family, they're on foul play. Yeah, they're on foul play if anyone's interested in actually listening to those. But like, if you actually listen to those, even the family and him are debating together, like, when was the fire? Oh, maybe it was on the 31st. Was it on the 31st? I don't think it was on the 31st. What day was it actually on? Like, they don't even really know. Because what important thing happened for them to remember a thing that they do often?
Exactly. That's just it. Yeah. These people do things in routine, and every day blends into another. It's hard to remember what they had for dinner because it's just so mundane. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like everyday life. And why would you want to remember? Why do you feel a need? You need to know exactly when you had what, when you have no idea if somebody's going to ask you these questions for this. Everybody goes, well, you should remember what you do. Well, I didn't know I was going to be under interrogation.
Why would I think that there would have been a chick that would have been murdered and placed in her fire pit?
I didn't know I was going to be interrogated, for God dang sake. I didn't know I had to know when I wiped my ass that day, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, and who I was with. Yeah, I had no idea.
I just know that every couple of weeks we have a big fire and we throw all the trash on the fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let's not forget, the fire was at some point in October. They're asking him these questions in March.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Later.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only reason why this date is so spectacular to the family is because that's supposedly when this lady went missing, and now their uncle's in trouble for it. Yeah, so I could understand if everyone in the family is trying to scramble to understand what they were doing that day.
Yeah.
And they start
because they know whatever they say is going to matter. It's going to matter. It's going to be used against them. They've seen it before.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and then that takes them back to the first time when you don't know what the hell to say because you don't know whether they're going to twist it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The sad thing is that Barb is living Mama Avery's life because this happened to her son. It happened to her brother. Now she's got double that, and this whole family, and not only the family, but think of how it has impacted us as people that don't even know them, So it just frustrates me because I've been hearing people say, not even specifically, but they say wrongful convictions don't really hurt. What are they going to hurt? Their actual innocence doesn't mean anything. What the fuck? This is our
Well, that's
Constitution saying this shit.
Yeah,
It
wrongful
does matter.
convictions not only affects people like Brendan and Stephen, it affects their family and it affects the community. It affects America.
And and there's a crim walking around doing things and escalating in his crimes.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, it's very important to.
You're not safe with the justice system like this, because guess what? You could wake up tomorrow and they could take you in and you could be in their shoes.
Or your kid.
And if you think for 1 second that they're not out there doing that, look at this case. Look at this case. These people are from Wisconsin in the burbs, man. They are farmers. There's cows around them. They are a nobody to the big wigs in society. They're just normal people trying to make it, and they've destroyed them. Okay, so just imagine, because you know what? When you got money, you buy your ass out of this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because like Stephen said, the poor will lose every time.
Yeah.
And our system is set up to make that happen. So we need to make change. And we just need to keep talking about Brendan. And the more you understand it, thank you very much, Becca, for being our reader.
Yeah.
And
I just want to say, please everybody share if you like what we do, or, subscribe and like and all that stuff. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so we can go live on the rally.
I did a tweet today for that.
Yep, I seen it. Thank you very much, Jane.
I appreciate everyone. Yeah, please share. We appreciate it all so much.
But we're not touching all of Dassey Nation. So those of you that are in family groups,
we want to touch you, Dassey Nation.
Yes. Those of you that are in family groups and that are just new to finding this, please turn on some people to us. Let them know that we're here, and we really want, there's thousands of people that support Brendan. We'd love to have thousands over here doing it too, and being involved in the interactive activities that we have, the things we read. We'd love supporters to come on and do this with us. So please tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah. Right. So, that way, because July 10th is when the rally is supposed to be, and me and Linda would both love to go live on that day and have you all be a part of the rally with us on Brendan Talks. So
and
please
watch us stick it to the governor.
Yeah, because we're actually planning on more than just the Saturday rally. We're planning on a few extra days of rallying.
And we're going to wig out Uyghur too. We're going to wig him out. We're going to let him hear his own words.
Yeah, so please join, subscribe, share, like, please
get your family members.
Join our Discord if you're on Discord. If you're on Twitter, follow me or Linda, or even Alice and Jane. They're wonderful supporters too.
All the things that we're saying right now, including on how to get a hold of Brendan, are in the description of every one of our videos.
Yeah, please send Brendan a supportive letter. He'd love to hear from everybody, even if it's just a hi, I'm here and I support you. That those letters mean the world to him. So that's all I got. If anybody has anything they want to share,
can I just make a quick plug for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Sure can.
So tomorrow, on
talk a little louder, Janie.
Over on Di's channel on Speaking with Conviction at 4 p.m. UK time, we shall be live with Mr. Stacey Seabrook.
Yes.
We're really.
Let me get that link.
Yeah, we'll get to the link here.
Fiction. Yeah, before we will
on your channel or Di's channel.
It's on Di's channel.
Okay, so it's Speaking with Conviction.
Yeah.
I have it.
Missy. Yeah. And Jane X the sharper than a pencil. Are going to talk to Stacey, the ma'am sing man.
Let me see if I can get the.
We're going to be catching up with him and finding out what he's been up to and talking about his music.
Great. That's great. It's going to be 10 a.m. Central for American. And what time did you say for UK?
4 p.m. UK time,
and 4 p.m. UK time.
Here is Diane's page for, go over there and hit subscribe and hit that bell so that way you get notified for Diane, so that way you won't miss that live. Absolutely.
Yes,
and then I just also want to post, here's Jane's personal channel too. You might as well subscribe to that and hit the bell. Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Stacy Seabrook, not only do Diane and Jane do like great content with other wrongful convictions, plus with the Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey stuff, but they also, Stacy Seabrook is a fantastic person who writes beautiful music, and you do not want to miss them interacting. They are great interviewers. And
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, Stacy Seabrook is fantastic. He is awesome. So.
I know.
He's a lyrical genius. I'm his number one fan. I ought to know.
He's an amazing person.
And I got a song that was sparked off of my conversation, and it matters.
I actually could probably bring it up, but
that's my favorite song.
We'll do it. Maybe next Brendan, positively.
Maybe
Brendan
we'll get Stacy on. I'll ask Stacy to come with
you know what, Jane? You need to get him, because I already asked him and he did a thumbs up. So you need
know
to
what?
really
I've never interviewed Stacy ever, and I want
him
so
on Brendan
badly.
Talks. So when you guys do your interview, you'd be like, you better go on Brendan Talks.
I'm going to get him to come on Checking Convictions too. Maybe he will. And let me just announce, in case I don't see these people, that I am interviewing criminal justice natters, the guy who had Kathleen Zellner and Jerry Buting and Dean and Laura Knightrider on and interviewed them. I'm interviewing the interviewer tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, 8:30 UK time.
Let me get that one. Hold on.
I'm a little nervous because he's a doctor. Dr. Edward Johnston.
You will be fine, Linda.
Yeah, but don't you want to know who this guy is and how he can do that?
There's the link for Linda's thing going on Monday, which is also another. We have, So we have a lot of cannot miss stuff going on. So.
And you can get Alice at Foul Play in about an hour.
Foul Play.
With me talking about Uncle Kenny. And then again tomorrow on Open Mic, you guys. Don't forget, Foul Play as Open Mic. And everybody is welcome. You just go in there. And if you're on the Discord there, you go on the Mamaholic line, phone call line, and join in on the conversation, because we are going to be talking about Danita Tutt tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Munchausen by proxy.
Open mic on after your interview.
No, today. Wait, I'm confused.
No. Oh. Linda, are you before or after Foul Play tomorrow?
Oh, not tomorrow. I'm on Monday. Sorry.
Oh, Monday. Right. Okay.
Monday. Yep.
Fine. Don't worry. I thought you said tomorrow. That's fine.
Monday. I'm so sorry because I was confused. No. Yeah. Monday.
Yeah. So today in an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
Today in about an hour is Foul Play. They discuss the Uncle Kenny, his book. Tomorrow is Speaking with Convictions.
At 4.
Right? At 4.
At 10 in the morning for all of us Americans.
So 10 a.m. for us is Speaking with Convictions, where they interview Stacy Seabrook. And then tomorrow evening at 2 o'clock is Foul Play. 4 o'clock is Foul Play Open Mic, where they're going to talk about I can't say the word.
Munchausen by proxy, Danita Tutt.
You don't want to hear the word that I actually say. And then Monday is Linda Kay with Checking Convictions, talking to Justice Natters.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yes, my gosh, thank you so much.
Okay.
A lot of plugs, and you're going to hear probably the same going on. But I really, I'm a little nervous about this interview. But hey, you know what?
We're all going to do great.
I just want to know what makes this guy get all these people. How does he do it? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to know what makes a guy tick? I love that.
Yeah.
That's what makes me tick. Finding out what all of you want to, what makes you tick. So I might be asking y'all to come on. Just don't be surprised. I've asked all these guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in,
so
Jane.
much for
Lovely
having
to
me.
see you, Jane.
Yeah.
As always,
Thank you.
Alice,
It's
I wish
lovely
you would
to
open
talk.
up more. One of these days, you'll tell us what you really think. But until then, and Becca, always wonderful to have you as my right-hand gal. I love you to death. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Love you too, guys. I love all of you.
Yeah. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Group